Live in. Hey guys, welcome back to Factor Fridays. This is your host Alejandro, manager of Fractal Networks, playing some music from Spliff 22 from Audius, the blockchain Spotify app. Just want to get in some beats. He's a minimalist artist. I think we're just gonna continue this from now on, doing every single week, just highlight an artist off of Audius. Definitely super into this app. Like, I barely listen to Spotify, but this is just great stuff. But anywho, we're changing up a little today. We have a very special guest speaker coming on in a bit. But for the time being, let us go over the news for the week and cover some stuff that's happening in crypto, as well as the crypto community, and even some interesting, fun meme stuff. Gotta cover that too, of course. So, that being said, let's get right into it. So this week, for people that are in the space, you may have noticed that Ethereum has been very much on a tear. I'm just going to bring it up right now. So we got a live view from a trading view at the moment. And basically, Ethereum in the past few weeks has been very volatile. But you can see here, especially in the last week or so, looking down, actually more in this area here, we've been bouncing around 2,000, below 2,000. Of course, there's a bump of 2,500. There's big celebrations about that. But right now, we're at 2,755. We've been breaking all-time highs all throughout this week. Bitcoin, of course, has been sailing around in a little channel right now, while altcoins have been exploding. So I'm not, I hold a little bit of both. I dabble. And let's just say that it's always good to see the altcoins running. So good to see Ethereum moving. That's always great news for the altcoin markets. What I did want to cover, of course, as well is, like I said, Bitcoin. In this market cycle, whenever Bitcoin has jumped, the altcoins have gone with it. But this time, of course, just like in 2018, it seems like Ethereum and the altcoins have been going through a run where Bitcoin, as you can see here, went from a high of 63K or so down to the low of 49K, which is last week. A lot of people were bearish, freaking out. A lot of people were pointing towards the capital gains tax issues that are going on in Turkey. I take a more nuanced approach and say, no, though, it's a combination of many different factors. But as you can see here, we're back up to 57K. So the dip, I guess, has been bought. But again, all coins are moving independent, and we had not seen that too often in this market cycle. So, we'll see what happens and progresses in that regard. Speaking of altcoins, I wanted to actually cover some news from another coin that I hold. Let's take a quick look here. Just give me 1 second, guys. Just pulling the story up. Yes. Okay. So, of course, we all know of Charles Hoskinson, the man behind Cardano ADA. So basically, what's happened the last week, which has been rumored for months, is inroads in Africa. Cardano developer IOHK strikes partnership with Ethiopian government. Basically, in a nutshell, what's going on is, and I had no idea, I thought Ethiopia was more of an open government or an open system, but they are partnering with the Ministry of Education to provide 5 million children or students with a blockchain identity. Of course, in a country like Ethiopia, which I thought was more advanced than other African countries, I was taken aback, but I guess it's still a big issue. This is great because people have an identity. They're able to track themselves on digital blockchain, something that's very secure. And of course, that can also help out in many other ways. So this is huge, 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 huge. And I definitely like Hoskinson's vision for Africa and leapfrogging. And we are, of course, trying to do something similar with, of course, Fractal Networks. Africa is a huge continent that, quite frankly, deserves this technological prowess. And there's also content that can be tapped for an equal exchange in partnership and in true free market capitalism. Benefits both sides. So I'm very excited to see what happens. Going off of that news, actually, there is more news in regarding to Cardano. Cardano's been really making headlines this week in regard to now rumored that in Tanzania they might announce a second partnership in Tanzania. This, of course, will focus more on the more on not just students, but it's going to focus more on the unbanked. I had no idea, but apparently in Africa there are in Ethiopia and Tanzania there are many unbanked citizens. That I wasn't surprised at, but there is a lot of underbanking that occurs throughout the whole entire world, especially in Africa. So it's very exciting to see what is going on in regarding the blockchain and crypto. And Cardano so far seems to be the leader in terms of underbanked continents, underbanked countries. This is something that people have been talking about for years. I mean, there was a Bitcoin documentary in Africa from a few years ago that I was sharing with a bunch of people. So it's very powerful stuff. I'm definitely very interested to see where this is going. And it's called the Africa Strategy. Again, Fractal Networks we're doing something similar. There's a lot of opportunity here for many different people. So we'll keep eyes posted what's going on. As you can see, guys, if you want to read more information about this, you can find it at the top, cryptoslate.com. All right. So I also want to go over some more technicals and then cover some meme stuff, because why not? And then we're going to bring on a special guest. So basically, I found a really interesting little snippet from Glassnode, one of my favorite places to go for crypto technical analysis. So as you can see here, looking over this chart, it's covering Bitcoin long and short-term holder supply and profit loss. Rohit, of course, in the past, who couldn't join us today, has used a lot of these charts before, but it's basically making the argument that the market cycle is not over, and basically it means that that we still have a little time to go. There's comments talking about basically here how the market top is in. I personally don't think so yet, but they're making the argument, okay, saying that 2017 peak, there's a 74% profit and there's distribution accumulation. So doesn't look like to me we quite hit a peak yet. Maybe we have. Of course, that's anyone's guess at this point, but it's very interesting to see these charts. Very interesting to see how of course all this works. And of course, you can always find out more, through the Twitter page, Glassnode. They always present very good information. And lastly, of course, because I had to cover this because this NFT ridiculousness keep on going. The last thing I wanted to cover is something I just found out about this morning. So Disaster Girl, I'm pretty sure everyone knows about Disaster Girl, the meme that was famous quite a few years ago. From what I know, the girl is, yes, 21 years old. This was about now, over 10 years ago now. More than that. 14, I don't even know. She was 4 years old when this picture was taken. And apparently she sold an NFT of her meme, which went for 500 grand. Zoe Roth, now a college senior in North Carolina, plans to use the proceeds from this month's NFT auction to pay off student loans and donate to charity. I cannot shame her for that. If I was a meme too, why the hell not? I would get that money as well. I would pay off my loans, pay off credit, invest, save, and, hopefully donate to charity as well. So good for her, take that bank and get it. So applause to her. And just have to highlight that because, the NFT market has been still absolutely crazy, and it just brings a laughter to my face. The last thing I wanted to cover, I'm not even going to bring it up, but since we're talking about NFTs and all the ridiculousness of crypto, it was revealed last Saturday, that Elon Musk will be on SNL next week, May 8th. And people are saying he's just going to go on to pump Dogecoin. I'm pretty sure it's for multiple reasons, but you cannot not laugh at the hilariousness of it. So the biggest troll out there in the best way possible, in my opinion. But anywho, without further ado, I'm going to bring on a special guest onto the show, and that is our one and only Ace. Welcome to the show. Of course, Ace is our executive in Fractal Networks, the top banana, but of course, mutual partner. And Ace, welcome. Just good to have you on.
Yeah, I really enjoyed the NFT content that you had earlier, and it's good to be on as well. Today, I wanted to bring up a couple of topics of market making and AI within the blockchain at this time. And part of the reason that we shut down our analysis is that we started to examine different types of algorithms that were so predictive of the market that it made it almost unfair to the common person investing in the cryptocurrency space. I mean, there is money to be made because it's a bull market and it can grow, and same with the stock market. But I'm here to talk about how um, there are different means of developing AI resistant blockchains. It's not avoiding AIs to bring intelligence to people, it's avoiding AIs to create market making. And we can see that a lot in the NFT market as well. And what happens is that someone who holds assets in something can almost manipulate the market to make it to what they want it to be. And there's no way to completely avoid something like this, but there are ways to become resistant to this type of trading. And we plan to have a solution for this. And I'll kind of go into a little bit of, you know, what we are and our ring of networks, quote unquote. And so centered around our network is a system implied digital asset, and and with that comes a set of NFTs that allow you to operate in the commercial sector and as an individual, and it has traceability, and the choice of non-traceability for collectibles and different types of stuff. Um, we plan to be active in many different markets, and we plan to reduce the promotion costs for different types of marketing and events. And um, where we are currently with the network is that we have a test net. We aren't necessarily this massive community driven workforce because we've seen the issues that have come to play when you allow this question mark that occurs when you just allow people to create multiple different types of currencies, and then you create this kind of pseudo faux community
Hmm.
where there is no direction to where anything is going and everything becomes very tribal. And um, that just kind of pushes shit coins, and it also pushes a lack of clarity in the original system. And so we're really pushing towards building a greater system that can be, um, you know, above and beyond what exists today. And, you know, going into that a little bit more is a little bit not what we want to do at this time, but we do have products coming out and we do have a Reg CF raise. And what we really want for this raise is the kids that are on Twitch, the gamers that want to see things that are different, the kids that want to see different types of things for the future that are new planted trees that take time to grow. That's where we really want to see you guys come to the front and really back Fractal. And I'm going to keep pushing on this message and going on about how our next generation needs something better. And if we want that better, and I won't go into all those because I'm not trying to push any buttons right now, but we have a bright future. And if we want to go towards that bright future, we all need to back something that is truly independent and can be a global system that can change the world across commodities, across real estate, across how the freedom of your assets are invested in companies.
Hmm.
Um, everything can't just be like a game of puppets, and we have to break free from this. And with this comes a little bit of freeing our next generation's minds. And that's really all I have to say about what we're doing. And I'm, again, the vagary apologies. We live in a very, very weird time right now, and we have to do our best to release the best products. So if everybody can have patience with our views and everything, we will grow over time, and we're not here to rush things, and we'll get there.
Yeah, no, it is indeed a very weird time, and thank you, Ace, for sharing all of that. Like, it's yeah, I'm still very excited for the projects we're developing. I know it's taking time, but most of the world is still very much on pause. And let's be honest, let's be truthful. It's it's hard to move forward. We have the internet, but it's hard to move forward when the outside world is still on that pause button. So it's completely it's completely understandable. But that being said, I know we have the testnet coming up eventually, the website, and I'm excited for what we're planning. Like, I keep on looking on apps like Audius, Torum, and I know that they have a decentralized way of incentivizing the members, unlike Facebook, unlike Twitter. And I'm excited to see, of course, what we're developing with the network and the NFTs, which I know we've talked about a lot more behind the scenes that we're not going to share today on the show. So, easy come, easy go, and let's keep the ball rolling.
Yeah, and with that, I really encourage diversity of application choice.
Mm,
I really encourage the to make alternative choices to what you use, and ask why I want to use one over the other. And then by contributing to other systems, you're also going to be able to improve those systems and maybe our system, because we don't want just one certain type of content on one network and one on the other. We want a balance,
mm.
and the only way we can do that is participation. So I really encourage um, creating content on other platforms too, because that will almost allow us to start to have more balance and to see both sides. And we also have a system for fixing this, but it'll all have to come in time.
Understood. Yeah. Well, again, like, it's a lot of things that are worth taking care of and building. Like, Rome wasn't built in a day, and I have been following crypto projects like, for example, Cardano, which I know I spoke about enough today, and they've been around since 2017. I personally myself didn't get in and invest until last year, thanks to a friend of mine that kept on pushing on it for me to do so. But they haven't really made the news until mainstream news until this year. So, that's a 3.5 year, 4 year plan. And, it's stepping stones. Same thing with Amazon. I'm just thinking about other companies. Amazon, what was it? They had like a one room shop back in 1998 or something. It looked like Bezos was behind like some secondhand like library table or some I don't know. It just goes to show that it takes time. So, but yeah, I really do think that in regard to the state of the world right now, that's why a lot of projects have been moving slower, but we'll get there. And I'm also excited for the funding round. So, Ace, thanks again for joining the show. Once again, guys, please follow us on LinkedIn, Facebook. We already have a great following there. I want to keep that momentum going. Twitter for any stuff we post. I post some memes there once in a while. Also, our Telegram is in the links. Please join our Telegram for instant chat access to stay up to date with the news. And Ace, thanks again for joining, and we'll be on next week, as always.
Thanks.
All right, peace.